we need words to this song. I swear. The brothers, there's life on Sunday. I don't know. Oh, I know. I'll use Chat GPT. Look, even Marla is getting into it. Look at her behind me there. She's like, the music's on. The music's on.
I'm dancing.
Meow, 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 meow.
My kitty's sleeping. There he is.
Joe and I have made basically a live. What do you call it when you like pretend that you know your cat's thoughts and dreams, and you're like always like interpreting what your cat's thinking out loud? Is like
personification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a cat thing or is that an inanimate object thing? I don't really know, but yeah, Joe and I do that all the time. We're like, oh, no, this is my cat saying when my cat meows at me, they're actually saying this, and I don't even know if that's true. All I know it's complete bullshit, but that's what I think.
Yeah,
So.
I think right. What's my cat thinking? My cat's thinking, I am sleepy. Do not wake me up. Oh yeah, because I fed them an hour. I fed them an hour ago, so they're like, they can chill.
Well, see, that's why Marla got up, because A, I'm talking to you, and B, it's 5 o'clock, which means it's feeding time.
It's feeding time.
Yeah, she's adjusting to all these other cats that are in the house now. And we've established a space for her so that she feels safe, so that she can drink her water in peace. So there you go.
Good.
I know. Yeah,
that's good.
Yep. So happy Sunday, Ann Brothers. The other thing about being a teacher in the summer is that it's hard to know what day of the week it is, and so I have to kind of like work hard to be like, oh yeah, it's Sunday. Things are completely different today than they were yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
You betcha.
Like, yesterday was super fun, and it was totally different.
It was super fun yesterday. Yeah, it was awesome. So speaking of yesterday, that's what we're talking about today. We went to the Detroit Riverwalk yesterday and experienced, I don't know how many, we probably did a couple miles worth of the Riverwalk yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was great. So it was warm and sunny yesterday and kind of humid, and the breeze coming off the river was outstanding. Yeah. Huh? Hello?
Anthropomorphize. Jenny.
Anthropomorphism. Yep, got it.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Just got it.
I know. I'm like,
you're right. Personification is inanimate acts. It's like no. It begins with an A. And anthropomorphize.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So if you didn't know that, now you know. You're welcome. Now you're smarter, because that's what you do. You watch our show and you get smarter. I can never say that word.
Anthropomorphize. Yes. You know. Yes. Yeah, you're making animals. You think that animals feel the same way that you do.
Correct. And Disney has basically made $1 billion doing that. So thanks, Disney. This is all your fault. So yeah, that's good. That's
all your fault.
So yesterday we went to the Detroit. We spent some time in Detroit. We hung out on the Riverwalk yesterday, and it was just epically awesome. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Detroit River. We're going to talk about the Riverwalk, and we're going to tie all that into the revitalization of Detroit, because Detroit still gets a shitty rap. And it kind of earned it for a really long time. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But they're trying to kind of, I don't know, take it all back, so to speak. So I don't know that they ever will take it back, but they can make Detroit a nice place to hang out again, and they're working on it. And yesterday is proof that it can happen. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. So it'll be great. So let's go. Should we just jump in there? Should we jump in? Should we just get going, or do you have other things you want to talk about to start today?
No. Oh, I want to talk about my wiener whistle.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for Smart Dumb Fun. You okay with that?
Well, I do. I do have different Smart Dumb Fun, but yes.
Okay. Well, we could add that to it, because you said wiener and whistle in the same sentence, which makes me laugh. Exactly. Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
So yes, so we have the brother sisters, and we have our Amy's with us. So those are our two Amy's that whom we have both known for a really long time. So we hung out with our Amy's yesterday, and it was a blast. So here we go. All right, Ann, you want to take us through the welcome or welcome back?
Sure. We're Ann and Janice Brothers. We're sisters. Our last name is Brothers. And we've been getting things done as a team since 1970. So
that's right.
There you go.
Right. Some of it for good, some of it for evil.
Yeah. Jenny was the good. I was the evil.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Anyway, we're in our 50s, Generation X, which means we have sweet memories of money in coin form.
Yeah.
I work with Gen Zers who like, change isn't money. They don't even like look at it as money. So especially for rolls of coins, Jenny and I spent time rolling pennies for our depression era grandfathers, and as a reward we each got a roll of pennies, so 50 cents to do with as we pleased. And if we were with my grandpa brothers, we would go to the dime store with our roll of pennies, and they would accept it. Nowadays people won't accept rolls of coins because they assume it's all full of like, washers or something. So anyway, we would go, and 50 cents then could buy you two candy bars. So it was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I It's so funny because you see change all over the ground anymore. It's just littered everywhere. And yeah, people just kind of throw it away like, oh yeah, that's change. But change, my personal philosophy of life is little things make big things, and that's how I feel about change. Because if you put enough, because we have a cow that we put our change to, a piggy
Hmm.
bank, so it's a cowie bank, and man, when you fill up that cow and then you bust that thing out and you empty it and you take that into a bank, A, they look at you like, oh, fuck you, really? And B, it's usually a couple $100, and a couple $100 is real money. So
Yeah.
take a look, and then I had a friend, I can't remember which one of my friends, their philosophy was that if they ever had ones, they went into the piggy bank. And then I had a different friend who was like, oh, for us, it's five. So anytime they had a $5 bill in their wallet, they had to put it in their piggy bank. So
Wow.
I know. And I'll tell you what, I did that for a year. And that is a significant,
Hmm.
because you don't think about, you open your wallet, you're like, oh, there's a five. It's got to go in the bank. That adds up too. I think one year I had like $500 in my cow. I'm like, let's go between fives and change.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's
So
getting
mhm,
it's getting harder to figure out what banks want, because some banks, they have the magic coin machines that they just dump it in, and so
mhm,
they'll do that. But then you're seeing a lot of banks that don't have those anymore. So then they want you to roll them and then they weigh them.
mhm,
So it just depends on your financial institution. My advice is that if you're going to do the rolling change thing, call the bank. They're going to want you to be um
um,
bank with them. So
yeah.
if it's just some rando bank, they're going to be like, get the fuck out of here, And so
Mhm.
it's make sure A, it's your bank, and B, call them up and say, hey, what do you guys do for change? And they'll be like, either roll it up, we have a coin machine, or don't you bring that dirty change into my bank.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, yeah, we have fond memories of change. I remember like
Yeah.
looking at my grandpa's like change jar and thinking, "Oh man, he's going to want that rolled soon." And Jenny and I are going to get paid.
Ching, 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 ching. Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Oh.
then I also remember looking for wheat pennies, because that was the
Yeah.
other thing too, is that you had to pull the wheat pennies out of there and make sure Grandpa Brothers got a chance to look at those wheat pennies.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Still think.
Basically, and we were basically slave labor, but we were willing, and that 50 cents went a long way. So,
It went a long way, exactly.
mm-hmm.
And scrounging some. We were hustling, Jenny. What we were doing was hustling.
Was hustling. Yes.
All
So
right. So
I get
as you
that.
can tell, we talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff, or any combination of the three. Your hosts, we are not cool, hip, or sexy, and we know this because we will do whatever we can and spend any amount of money to buy fancy shoes that are not high heels. I'm like, yeah, ugh, I just
That's the
can't
thing for
do it
me.
anymore. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a lot of athletic shoes that are really expensive, and I love them, and I love buying them, and I love looking at them, and I love going into places where they sell them and then just standing amongst them and then trying stuff on and then like not buying them and then buying them later. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jenny and I are going to a wedding next month, and yesterday we were talking about the shoes, and I showed her what shoes I was going to wear, and then she's like, "Oh, that's what I want," and they're like these really cute, kind of a Mary Jane style flats, awesome support. I was like, "Yep, there's no way I am wearing heels probably ever again." And I used to
Never
love
looked
high heels.
Yeah, and I've never loved them, and I've always looked like an arthritic cow in them. I do not look like I should. People take one look at me, I'm like, "Oh." she doesn't do that very often. I'm like, no, I don't.
Jenny manages to walk in high heels the same way she walks in athletic shoes.
Correct. It's chunky.
like
It's just this chunky, plodding sort of,
like at
yeah,
any
people know
second
I'm coming.
she could take up a basketball and start, dribbling the ball,
That's right. Yeah,
Anyway.
that's yeah. And I don't look natural. I did wear them for my wedding because I guess you're supposed to, and that's what I did. But again, it wasn't a natural look for me. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
So anyway, we're not a true crime, celebrity, or influencer podcast. We are the summer festival of podcasts. And
oh,
even better,
good.
you don't actually have to go to a festival to experience our fun. So,
Yeah, because you don't have to use the porta potty at that festival. So yay
ooh, no.
us for not being
Yeah.
the. Yeah, I can't. I think we've already discussed on this show how much I hate me a festival. So, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if that makes me not fun or whatever, but man, I just don't get festivals. It's just crowded with humanity. Everything's too expensive, and then you have to go poop in a box. And I can't do it.
Anyway, we've been
Yeah.
told we're good to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff. And because for some reason, people always want to pray with us or for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had some nice JWs come to the door last month. And I'm never rude to the people that knock on my door and want to pray for me. And I know the JWs are kind of nuts. But uh I try just to be polite and be like, because I'm not a big believer in all of that. So if people want to pray for me, that's great, but I'm not going to pray with you because it just feels weird. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
but yeah, we'll
anyway,
talk about that. We're going to talk more about that in a minute
um,
because
this pod,
yeah,
yeah, this podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13 because you need to stay only nice fucking. You only need. I'm sorry, because you need to say only nice fucking things about Detroit. There was like a T-shirt in the '90s that say only nice things about Detroit. Fuck you. So anyway, yeah. So we're gonna talk about Detroit. You can only say nice things and fuck you.
and
Join
yeah,
us
yeah,
on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music. In fact, you may be seeing us on Facebook or YouTube right at this very moment. Like us,
yeah.
follow us, hit the bell, leave us a review, give us your feedback with our questions and answers and our polls. And you can ask the ladies, Alexa and the other one, I can't remember her name. What's her
Siri,
name? Oh, sorry, Siri.
Siri.
Sorry, Siri. You can ask Alexa or Siri to play us, and they will do it.
Right now, my cat Marla is watching the show because she loves when the show's on. She's staring very intently at something on the ground, which normally means it's a spider, which means that she'll soon eat it. So because she loves eating spiders, so
Does
there you
she?
go.
Does she?
A glimpse. Oh yeah, um she's a bug eater. I know. What can you say?
What can you say? It's like, hey,
Yeah.
go for it, kitty.
Hey, and like Ann said, you can follow us on all of these great things. You can also tell people to follow us. You can share us, leave a review, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Put the word out with your friends and family. Let them know we're here. We'd love to hear from you, hear from them, because we love hearing things and saying things. See? Isn't that
See?
fun? Don't you feel
Uh-huh.
better? Let's go. Hey, let's talk about the smart, dumb, fun stuff that happened this week. I'm going to start us off today, Ann, if that's okay with you.
Of course it is.
I'm going to start out by congratulating Jeff Hiller on your first Emmy nomination for his role as Joel in the show Somebody Somewhere, which just wrapped up its third and final season. Which to me, it breaks my heart that this isn't getting a fourth season. But I also get it. I love the way this show ended. Very slice of life. This whole show is slice of life, and a life goes on sort of attitude to it. I'm so pissed that Bridget Everett did not get nominated because she
Hmm.
should have been nominated for Best Actress in this. But I'm so jazzed for Jeff Hiller, who is just epically good in this series. And so, yay for you, Jeff Hiller. We are rooting for you. Ann and I have been advocates of this show. We have been vocal advocates, and so we're jazzed for you.
Hmm.
Okay, the other thing is I've been watching the show Severance, and holy hell, that show is banana pants, and it makes you not ever want to go to work again.
Hmm.
Or, yeah, it's really great. It's so confusing. I feel like I'm not smart enough to watch this show, But I really love it, and I think if you have Apple TV, it's worthwhile. Apple TV has two really great. I mean, they have a lot of good shows. Ted Lasso, which was outstanding, and then this one is right up there, I think, with it, but in a really different way.
Totally
Where
different way.
like Ted Lasso makes you feel all good and warm and fuzzy inside, and you're just like you're so happy when you get done watching Ted Lasso, and then you watch Severance, and you're like, I'll never be happy again.
And what the fuck just happened?
Correct. That is correct. And then finally, shout out to Joe Peters. Last week we went to one of our favorite little haunts here in Kalamazoo, and it wasn't very crowded. And they have like a jukebox, which is called Touch Tunes. So basically, it's all done through an app on your phone. And we did what we called the Touch Tunes Takeover, which means that one of us would pick a song, and then the other would have to pick something out of that song and do a second song that is in some way related, and then you have to guess how it's related, and then you pick the next song that's related to the song previous to that. It's really fun. So that's what we did, and we literally had touch tunes for like 45 minutes uninterrupted. So, and I
Wow.
got to tell you, our musical tastes were excellent. We
Hmm.
kept the joint hopping. So yeah, it was fun. So good job, Joe Peters. And if we ever get the chance again, we're gonna do Touchstone's Takeover. So
Excellent.
if you need something to do with your honey, that's what you do. We started doing this a couple years ago when we do dishes. Like we were doing, it would be our Alexa takeover. So
Hmm.
somebody would play a song, and then the next person would have to play a follow up song based on something. It could be same genre, it could be same artist, it could be a word in the song, and then you have to guess it. So it
Hmm.
can be pretty complicated. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Dang.
Touchstone's Takeover. Yes. All right, Ann Brothers. Now you.
All right. So, friends of ours, Mike and Skip, Mike Bardalis, who is a brewer, and his best buddy Skip, they decided to open up a brewery and a restaurant. So they came up with Full Measure Brewing Company. They established it in 2020. It is finally opening this Monday. It is opening. It took them 5 years. It's in the Eastern Market. It's called Full Measure Brewing Company. They have excellent food. The beer is outstanding. Mike was Duncan's assistant for a number of years. And our friend Annette, her husband is Mike Bardalis. So if you want to go back in our archives, our friend Annette May is a Cicerone, which is Latin for beer wizard, and she did a
She
whole
is.
episode with us about how to drink beer, basically. So yeah, so their restaurant, we went to like a little kind of like practice, opening for them
Soft
last
opening.
week.
It's called a
So,
soft opening.
their soft opening is actually on Monday. This was
Oh, so
more
this is
like
like a
it's kind of
hello
like a
soft.
it was like a
Friends and
like
family.
yeah, friends and family industry sort of night sort of thing. So
Cool,
yeah,
cool,
the
cool,
place
cool.
is. Oh, Jenny, they hung up our bag, our brother
Hmm,
sister's tote bag, and they have a bunch of like
nice.
just fun kitschy stuff in there. It's a very welcoming space. The food is excellent. Even if you're not a big beer drinker, the food is outstanding. The beer
You know what
is
they should we should
excellent.
ask we should ask them to sponsor us.
Yeah. Or at least
Oh, yeah, I
be on
love
our
that.
show.
Be on our show. Come be on our show. Talk about your awesome brewery. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that
Um,
happened. And
five
that's
years.
5 years. It
Awesome.
took him
Good for
5 years
them.
to
Boy,
open.
that's a lot of effing crazy. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's the way it is in the restaurant industry. I get
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
And they got a building that needed so much work. So a lot of it was just spent getting the building up and in shape to house a brewery and a restaurant. So yeah,
Awesome. Go get them. Go get them, guys. I love it.
yeah. Hmm.
So sweet.
Super
Okay.
sweet. Uh-huh.
All right, cool. Let's talk about the Detroit Riverwalk and all it has to offer. So this is basically a series of top tens or top sevens or 10 things you need to know or 10 things that you should do or 10 reasons why this is significant. But that's what we're talking about, the Detroit Riverwalk. So just so you know, it's in Detroit and it goes along the river and you can walk or run or
Or ride your bike
bicycle
or do the
or
scooter.
do the scooter. Yeah, there's lots of ways for you to transport yourself from one end of the Riverwalk to the other. So, Anne, you're going to take the first half of this. I'm going to take that second half, and then we'll talk about the Riverwalk. Let's go! All right,
Okay.
here we go.
So,
Yes,
here's some fun facts in case, you may live near Detroit or in Michigan or somewhere else in the world. You may not know very much about the Detroit River. So, here's 10 fun facts about the Detroit River. Fact number 1. It's 28 miles long. So, and compared to like the Mississippi and the Amazon, it's a short little river, but 28 miles seems like a lot to me. So, I don't
agreed.
I don't want to have to run it. So there you go. It connects Lake St. Clair and the Upper Great Lakes to Lake Erie. So that makes it cool because you can go from Lake Erie all the way around all of the Great Lake. Well, not all of them, four of them around to Michigan. So you could, be in Lake Erie and go all the way through, all the way to Chicago and Lake Michigan. And one of the ways you would get there is through the Detroit River. So there you go. Detroit is French. It is a French word for the strait, and not Straight, but Strait. And a strait is a navigatable um, body of water connecting two larger bodies of water. So basically, you have a strait between Lake Erie and Lake St. Clair. So that's what it is.
Nice.
So Detroit River is River of the Strait. So that's what Detroit River means, River of the Strait. Due to its rapid industrialization, the river was very polluted. So starting at about the late 1800s, well into the 60s and 70s, it was an extremely polluted place. And they always talk about Lake Erie and some of the rivers around Lake Erie catching on fire. I believe the Detroit River caught on fire once or twice too. So that's how polluted it was. We had a lot of industry in Detroit, a lot of car industry, oil industry, lots of stuff. So it was a
Yeah.
very polluted river for quite a long time. But since
Not
the
to be
late
outdone by Cleveland.
Exactly. But since the late 20th century, restorations efforts have restored the river, making it viable place for wildlife and for humans to enjoy. In fact, one of the things that made the Detroit River so appealing to a lot of people very early on in the colonization of this part of the world was the fact that there was a lot of beavers, and beaver fur was very coveted. And for hundreds of years there were no beavers in Detroit River because it was too polluted. But now they're starting to see beaver activity again. So
The
that's
beaver's
how
back.
the beavers
Hey,
are back.
I'm gonna show everybody the Detroit River real quick. So,
Sure.
there it is. Can you see that? Can you see? There it is.
Mhm.
So one of the cool things about the Detroit River is, and people don't realize this when it comes to Canada. Everybody thinks that Canada is like north of the United States, but you can kind of see there that Canada has this fun little arm that reaches down and essentially borders Detroit, and it borders it via the Detroit River. So there's Lake St. Clair right there, boop, and then the Detroit River, you can see it winding down there, and then it dumps down here um, into Lake Erie south of Grosse Ile. So it's pretty cool. I
Mhm.
think it's cool.
There's a joke that South Detroit is Canada. So whenever I hear that Journey song, born and raised in South Detroit, you mean Canada?
Oh, Canada, eh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So, well,
exactly. So, and when I tell people that I live south of Canada, or north of Canada, I always say Michigan's one of those few places where you can actually live north of Canada. So,
yeah, that's awesome. So, all right,
yeah.
good.
So,
Sorry. All
yeah.
right. Back
No,
to it.
that's
Hang
that's
on.
cool.
I gotta
As
go
you can
back
see,
and share.
it's
I
not a
ruined it.
super long river, but it's a very significant river when it comes to like
It is.
industrialization. And it's a border, it's a border crossing between the United States and Canada. And it played a role in the Underground Railroad as a way for enslaved people to escape to Canada, because in Canada, slavery was illegal. So it played a role in that. It played a role in prohibition. So when alcohol was illegal in the United States, so alcohol made its way from Canada into the United States. So it's
Detroit did very well with that. They did very well during
exactly.
Prohibition. So, yeah.
The Ambassador Bridge, which was the first bridge, right now it's still it was the first bridge to connect Michigan and Canada. And so that bridge was completed in 1929. And then the Gordie Howe Bridge, which will be the newest international bridge, just down the river. You can see them from each other. It's expected to be completed this fall. So we'll have two international bridges in the Detroit area, the Ambassador Bridge and the Gordie Howe Bridge. I think Gordie Howe's a hockey dude. Am I right?
He's Mr. Hockey, Ann. He's Mr. Hockey. Thank
Okay.
you very much. Yes, Gordie Howe was a legendary Detroit Red Wings hockey player, otherwise known as Mr. Hockey. He literally played forever and ever and ever. So, yeah, he's legendary. So good job.
There you
Good
go.
job
I
going on. Yeah.
legendary enough that I even know he's a hockey dude. So there you go.
Well done.
Yeah. It's the only river in both North America and in Canada that's been designated as a heritage river. So, so much has happened on this river for both Canada and America that it's actually considered part of our national heritage. So, there you go.
Agreed. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
There you
10
go.
fun
Fun.
facts. Good job, Detroit River. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Detroit River's cool. That's all I
Hmm.
know. And it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. Cool river. All right.
Don't try to swim across it. You will die. You know, there's always like
Yeah.
somebody who's like, because Windsor, Canada's right across there. It looks so easy. Like, yeah, I could swim over there and get to it. The river flows really fast and it's cold. And I'm like, and if you get in there and try to swim across, you'll die. So just so you know, don't do that.
Yeah. And now there's so many ways to die in that river: freezing to death, drowning, getting run over by a giant freighter. I mean, all of those are
Mhm.
in play.
Yeah, all of those are in play. In fact, every year they have like a there's a big island in the Detroit River called Belle Isle. Really cool place. But every year they have like a swim where people try to swim around the island. And I think like last year they had like 16 people complete it. So it's a
Mm.
tough place to swim. So there's Belle Isle. So
So,
so
yeah.
don't do
So
it.
yeah, don't do that. Belle Isle is awesome. We should talk about Belle Isle someday. Have we done? We haven't done that yet, have we?
We have not. We should talk about Belle Isle because there's so
We
much
do.
fun stuff to do on Belle Isle.
Belle
We'll go,
Isle is
Jenny, and
the
we'll do a
cool
bunch of fun stuff.
on
And
Belle
then
Isle.
we'll
Can we
talk
do the
about the
slide? Can we do the death slide, please, please, please?
sure, why not? Why not? I definitely should be doing a death slide at my age. So that sounds
Absolutely.
like
What could possibly go wrong? Airborne. All
exactly.
right. So yeah. So there you can see the Belle Isle in the middle of the Detroit River. Super sweet. All right, we're gonna share that tab instead. Is that
Mhm.
one back on? It
Yeah.
is back on. Huzzah! All right, cool.
So here's some 7 fun facts about the Detroit River. It was voted the best river walk in America for 3 consecutive years. So between 2021 and 2023 by USA Today, the most reputable newspaper in America. But hey, they know what's fun, and the Detroit
They do.
Riverwalk is fun.
They're the People magazine of newspapers, and you want smart. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. You want not smart but dumb fun. USA Today and People magazine. Hi,
Mhm.
Marla. Do you want to go to the bridge? Marla was with me. She's headbutting my leg. She's like, "This is fascinating." I know, kitten.
Fascinating.
Look, I just anthropomorph. Damn it! What Ann
Yeah,
said earlier.
anthropomorphized.
Yes, thank you. No idea why I can't say that word. I'm blocked now. I'm blocked. I have the yips when it comes to that word.
Yeah, it's not an easy word.
It's
It's
not.
it's got
Yeah,
a there's a lot to it.
it does. It has all
It's
those
not as
syllables, and
it's not as cute and
yeah,
cuddly as the things that you imagine with
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yes, I
I
get
would
it.
come up with a better word. But anyway,
Yeah,
so it's a 5.5 mile stretch of public space. And that's not just the river walk itself, but it's also the space around it. There's actually a state park within the river walk. There's a amphitheater, the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. So it's a really nice place to hang out, but there's a lot of space to do fun stuff. It's been open to the public since 2007. Not the entire stretch. The entire stretch just was finished from like the downriver. Not too far downriver, but kind of the Corktown area, all the way up to Belle Isle. So that it took a long time. I mean, it took almost 20 years to get that entire length finished. It attracts about 3 million visitors annually and has generated over 2 billion in public and private investment since 2003. And that's impressive. And I also want to talk about like the other, like Jenny and I went there with our friends, our Amy friends, Jenny's Amy friend, my Amy friend. And we went to lunch in Detroit. We went to the dime store. We went to lunch. We went to the Guardian building and checked out the lobby of the Guardian building where I bought a postcard. We went on the walk. We bought drinks at a little place on the river walk. So we spent money there. So pretty much everybody that comes onto the river walk, we've paid for parking. So it's a good draw for Detroit, and it brings in revenue. And it brings in revenue not just for the park itself, for the walk itself, but for businesses around it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Whenever like somebody's like, "Oh, we don't want to pay for this public space," it's not doing us any good. I'm like, I don't know. I just contribute. We all contributed a bunch of money to the city of Detroit yesterday, and it was because of this public space. So we didn't have to pay to get onto the space, but we spent a lot of other money there. You know, because we were there. So whenever somebody's like,
Little
no,
things, little
make
things make big things.
yeah. So whenever you're like,
Yeah,
I don't want to pay for, property tax. I don't want to use my taxes for parks. I'm like, why? They generate income. That place generates income.
yeah, it
Uh,
does.
so some of the attractions besides the walk itself are the Detroit River, which is, oh God, we had a beautiful breeze on it yesterday. It's a lovely, lovely body of water. If you like to watch big freighters going from one end to the other, that's so cool. We saw three different ones. The DeQuinder Cut, which is another walking path that was an old railway line. So it goes from the river all the way into Eastern Market. So if you were inclined to ride your bike, you could start at the Riverwalk and go all the way to my friend's brew pub, Full Measure Brew Pub, and have lunch or dinner in Eastern Market because that's where they are. And so that's a really cool way to connect parts of Detroit because Detroit's a huge city. It also has the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater, as I said, and that draws really big names. It has Milliken State Park. It has play areas. It has a Ferris wheel or a merry-go-round, excuse me. It has places where you can get snacks and drinks. It's just a really, if you want to dock your boat, there's several places where you can dock your boat. There's all kinds. I know there's stuff I'm forgetting because there's so much going on there. So yeah, that's the
It's
place to be.
totally awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, there's a couple of really good websites that talk about it, and literally it takes you through like an entire photo. Um, there's like 25 different photos for you to walk through. It takes you on a virtual tour. Ooh, look. Here, let's do this right now.
Hmm.
Can you see this, Ann? Can you see it?
Oh, Jenny,
Yes.
that's awesome.
I
Wow.
know. And what's cool about it is that you can make it full screen. Well,
Hmm.
full as this is going to get. And not only does it give you 360 degrees, but then you can literally go through and it takes you to different destinations. So this is Mount Elliott Park.
Hmm.
You can do, and it takes you essentially from the what is it? I'm trying to think of my directions there. This particular virtual tour takes you from the eastern portion of the walk all the way to the western portion, and it marks all the different things that you can look at while you're going through the virtual tour. I highly recommend this if you want to know a little bit more. It's really cool. You can kind of it walks you through the different things, and like I said, you go east to west. It's tight, and it
Hmm.
gives you a really great idea of how much this area has changed and developed over the years. So you have the ability to do that, which is totally awesome.
And though Jenny, though we paid for parking because we parked downtown, there are parking lots along the park where you can park for free. So if you don't want to have to pay for parking, you can park for free along the park. We just happened to be on Gratiot Street, and that's where we parked near there because the restaurant we went to was on Gratiot Street. The dime store, which was very delicious. Like I said,
Delicious.
all this awesomeness is brought to us by the Detroit River Conservancy. So they're the one that envisioned this and maintain it. And then all the awesomeness is free to the public. So if you want to be on this trail and enjoy a lot of parts of it, you don't have to pay for that. So I think that's a really gorgeous and beautiful part of this. So there's people there that were getting their photos taken for weddings and graduations. There were people there who were spreading the word of God. I
Boy,
know
were they
because
ever.
they asked us to, there was like, I'm not exaggerating when I say at least a half a dozen people stopped us and asked us if we wanted to pray with them or to be prayed about. And we're like, wow, what is it about us that makes us look like we need prayer?
I don't know. Probably a lot of things.
Probably. Exactly. So anyway, so that was fun. So there's all kinds of people. Oh, if you want to rent a bike, you can rent a bike. If you want to rent a scooter, you can rent a scooter. It's just if you want to fish, lots of people fishing. So,
Well, and that's the cool thing about the Riverwalk is that whatever experience you're looking for, you can find it. If you're there because you want to exercise, it's a great place to exercise.
mhm,
It's flat. There's a change of scenery. Like I said, you can get your 5 mile run in, or you can turn around and do, 11 miles worth of running. Depends on what you
mhm,
want to do. And there were many fit people on that trail yesterday.
Yeah.
If you want to just, bum around, you can do that. You can literally spend all day there. I don't even know how long we were we were out there just kind of milling around for, I don't know, 2.5 hours
Hmm.
yesterday. Maybe longer, because not only were we looking around and walking and talking, but then we went into the cut there, the DeQuinder cut, and found a little place to sit down and have a beverage, on this cool barge. So,
Hmm.
and that was all, really great as well. And it was crowded. There were lots and lots and lots of
Hmm.
people there yesterday, all shapes and sizes, all ages. So if you have kids, it's a great place to bring your kids, because you have those little spaces that are very kid friendly. There's
Hmm.
playgrounds, there's the merry-go-round, um, there's the green space that's in there,
Hmm.
because that's, like you said, it's a state park, so that's really awesome as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was. It's fun. There's if you wanna experience some nature in an urban environment, great place to do it.
yeah,
Great
agreed,
place to
agreed.
do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what's cool about the Riverwalk is that it is significant. So I'll take you through. Let's jump in here. This is boop. There it is. Oops. There it is. It's 5 reasons why the Riverwalk is significant. So it's really interesting, because I was talking to a friend of mine, I don't know, like September, October last year, and I had mentioned that I was going to Detroit, and she was like, "Ooh, Detroit, ooh." And it's interesting, because there's a lot of people that still really feel that way about the city of Detroit. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the city of Detroit has many rough edges about it. It's still, it's a big city. It still has crime. It still has a lot of those things, but it's also, Detroit is working very hard to revitalize itself, to make itself, to dust off that reputation that it really developed in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and start to turn things around. And there's a lot of evidence that that's happening. And one of the pieces of evidence is that Riverwalk. It's significant when it comes to looking at this and going that Detroit is doing the things and making the changes that will revitalize it. Does it have a long way to go? It does, but it can't do those things without money. And this is a way for the city to generate money. So, 5 reasons why the Riverwalk is significant is that there's been a lot of reclaimed land. It turned around a broken down industrial area that was toxic, and they've cleaned it up and they've turned it into a welcoming space, and it really has jump started the economic redevelopment of that waterfront area. It's attracted private and public investment. The cool thing about this Riverwalk is that it's a cooperative. It's a cooperative between um, the conservancy, private money, public money, and the state park. Department of Natural Resources in Michigan has its fingerprints all over that Riverwalk, and it's really great to see that you have people that are interested in revitalizing Detroit from different arms of the state. Uh, it's I think it is one of those things that is slowly but surely helping Detroit improve its public perception. You see this, you see Central Station, the revitalization and the renovation of Central Station, and you look at, like it or not, putting Ford Field and Comerica Park and the Little Caesars Palace there has really made a difference in bringing people back to the city. That's one of the first things that they did is they took all of their sports teams out of the suburbs and they put them back in the city, like many larger cities are doing, in order to bring people back to the cities. And as soon as they started doing that, that money started trickling down, matriculating, if you will, to other parts of Detroit. Again, stimulates tourism and foot traffic. Foot traffic being the big one. If you want to get to know any area, walk it. That's how you get to know. Whenever I go to a new town, I walk around, because that's how you get to know spaces. Driving through it, you might look at it, but you certainly won't know it. By walking a space, you get to take the time and appreciate what you have around you. And that's what that Riverwalk does for the downtown area of um, of Detroit. That's for sure. It's created jobs and business opportunities. For example, and you talked about Full Measure Brewery that's opened in Eastern Market. That's a great example of something that you can start at the Riverwalk and walk to or bike to and back.
Hmm.
That's a great example of a business that, even though it's not super close to the Riverwalk, is going to benefit from that foot traffic, from being close enough, from being part of the DeQuinder cut, that people can get back and forth to it. So those are 5 reasons why this Riverwalk is significant. And I have great news. I have 5 more reasons why the Riverwalk is significant. Let's go. I think the big one is that it's fostered a sense of community pride. You're seeing a pride in Detroit that you didn't see 20 or 30 years ago. People are proud that they're from Detroit. There were, T-shirts from people like, "Yeah, I'm a Detroiter," and that's sort of, people are kind of holding their heads a little bit higher. Yeah, that, like you said, you spend time in Detroit, you're going to see good things, and you're going to see things that are like, not so good. The cool thing about being on the Riverwalk is that you get to see all of this new awesome development, and at the same time, you're seeing the shades of the Detroit that used to be. The great thing about Detroit is that Detroit has a lot of really fantastic architecture. It's very Art Deco. It's super sexy. Um, and they've really kept and embraced that. One of the things that kind of drives me nuts about Chicago is that Chicago is this very modern looking city. You really have to dig into it to find the architecture. Anne was talking about the Guardian building. I'd never been in the Guardian building, and it is stunning
Hmm.
in terms of what it looks like inside. It is beautiful, and it is a blast from the past, and it's, you can just see the pride that they've taken in keeping this building and restoring it. Same thing if you look at Central Station, over, in the Corktown area of Detroit, is that, Ford invested $1 billion in that structure, and you talk about pride in what you've built. That's it's pretty awesome. So it's spurred a lot of neighborhood revitalization. There's a lot of really great neighborhoods, and some of them have progressed more than others. But when you look at those neighborhoods that are along the riverfront, so downtown, midtown, Jefferson corridor, you're seeing again businesses coming back, homes, condos, people buying houses in there. The tough part about living in Detroit still is that the school system is not caught up in terms of this revitalization, which may kind of stunt it a little bit as far as families. But if you're a young professional and you want a place to live, go to Detroit, because Detroit wants your money. They want you there. That's who they're trying to cater to right now, are young professionals who want to live in a cool, hip, trendy area, and this is it. Uh,
Hmm.
it's so another thing that's cool is that you have this accessible design. It's for all shapes and sizes. It's for young people, it's for old people, it's for people with kids, it's for people without kids. I can't It's people who like bikes, it's people who like to walk. How many cool bikes did we see on that
Oh
trail
yeah.
yesterday? I'm thinking of the dude with the yellow shirt and the yellow hat with his tricked out
Hmm.
um e-bike
Leather.
that had the leather. Yeah, man, that
Mhm.
thing was sweet. So
And it's
that's
not, it's, can I interrupt for a second, because it's also
yeah.
super accessible for if you're for people who are disabled. So it's a
Mm.
flat, it's easy to get to, it's easy to be on. So even if you're not completely able-bodied, you could still use this trail, and it'll be totally accessible. So I think that's another thing. You don't have to be able-bodied in order to use this trail.
The entire trail is
Hmm.
absolutely. So you have the support. It's this thing where, like I said, we saw all shapes and sizes. This sort of outdoor promotes wellness. It promotes healthiness. This trail is the Riverwalk is open year round,
Hmm.
and you can use it year round. And so that's another thing. Michigan has a reputation of being not super fit, so it was fun to see all kinds of people out there walking, running, biking, or anything in between. Yeah, there were lots of scooters and stuff, which is kind of annoying, but it wasn't terrible. So
Yeah.
it's
It was
sort of
mostly
that spirit
kids.
of,
It was like mostly
yeah, it
kids.
was, yeah, on the scooters, because if you're a kid, scooters are amazing.
Well,
Um, eh,
it's such a beautiful spot. It kind of like it begs to be appreciated, and the best way to appreciate is to to go to walk, to
to
maybe just
walk, yeah,
run, or but to zoom by, it's just like it's not as it's just like you really want to appreciate it.
yeah, and just appreciate the work and the time and what's gone
Mhm.
into it. And that brings us to number 5 on this second page. Is it really does show the power of partnerships, and what
Mhm.
um the collective IQ and the power of collaboration. We
Mhm.
live in this country now that's so very splintered. Um, the thing is, the people that built this Riverwalk were not necessarily like-minded. People made themselves a part of these partnerships for various reasons. A, because they wanted to see Detroit revitalized. B, they wanted to, clean this up for environmental reasons, or they wanted to clean this up for economic reasons, or whatever. It doesn't matter. They came together and managed to find consensus in ways that helped them build this really beautiful thing. And what drives me nuts about the country we live in right now is that we are so splintered and so fighting about all these ridiculous things, when in reality what we should really be fighting for are things like this. Something that, if we put our partnerships together, if we put our differences aside, if we figure out what would be great for our communities, then this is what we can do. And that's yeah, that's a really big deal. And
Mhm.
so you have all these nonprofits that came together and found ways to figure this out, design it, put the money in the right places, get it built. And so now you're seeing this sprawl as a result of it that's going right along with it. Like, if you can do this, what else can we do for the
Mhm.
city of Detroit? So,
Yeah.
anyway, those were 10 reasons why this Riverwalk is significant when it comes to the revitalization of the city of Detroit. Thank you very
Mhm.
much. Phew.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
And anything
good
else you
job.
want to add to that? Thank you.
Uh, go. Take some time. Like Jenny said, last year, Duncan and I went on Easter, and it was kind of a gray, kind of a overcast day. It was in the like high 40s, low 50s, and we were like some of the few people on that walk, and it was a beautiful. It was like, hey, it was great. We saw some boats and some people that are just really eager because it was an early Easter. We were just really eager to get outside and be outside. I saw a pheasant.
Oh, yay.
you know, just that sort of thing. And like, you forget all the nature that you can see in an urban area. So you can go any time of year. It's totally worthwhile. Yeah, and it's right next to Hart Plaza, and they often have a festival going on. They had an African festival going on. So, if you want to hang out with the festival and listen to some music and eat some good food, there's probably something going on there. Jenny will be there in October because Jenny's running a marathon out of that Hart Plaza, excuse me, out of Hart Plaza. So yeah, right there next to Riverwalk. I am bringing a chair and a giant mocha.
Yeah, that will be one of the things that we talk about coming up, is that Jenny's running a marathon. Well,
Marathon.
running is sort of well, running is a liberal term. All I know is that they don't sweep you up off the course until 6.5 hours in, and they don't close the tunnel till 10 a.m. I'm gonna be fine.
10 a.m. or 10 p.m.
10
What time
a.m.
does it start?
So, because
10 a.m.
it starts at 7. But see, the
Woof.
tunnel, well, it's nice because, yeah, I know. But because you run over the bridge to Canada, but then when you run back, you run through the tunnel to get back to Michigan. So,
Oh.
yeah. So, but you have to get to the tunnel before 10, because otherwise they close the tunnel, or they start letting the traffic back through the tunnel. Because, people are going to be mad that we're there.
Yeah.
So,
Is it a
yeah, everybody's
Saturday? It's
always
on a
mad.
Saturday, yeah, or a Sunday?
It's on a Sunday. It's a Sunday, yeah. So
Oh,
they're
there
to
you go.
minimize the impact of, having thousands of
Hmm.
people, running across the bridge. So, there you
Yeah.
go. So yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So anyway,
I hope there's some food
yeah, we'll
trucks.
get to ugh, I know I'm gonna stop at one on the way.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah. So anyway, I can't
Yeah,
recommend it enough, and I hope that if you are anywhere in Michigan, you can take some time to do this. So go for it.
for real.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's worthwhile, and honestly, I think it will. I mean, like I said, Detroit still has rough spots for sure, but I think it will
Mhm.
change your mind when it comes to just exploring the city. The city
Yeah.
is interesting, and it's so interesting because I can remember going to Detroit even 20 years ago and being like, God, you go downtown Detroit and it feels like a ghost town. It doesn't feel like that anymore. Downtown
Right.
Detroit does not feel like a ghost town anymore. It feels interesting and vibrant, and there's businesses and there's people and there's restaurants and there's bars and there's some really, cool stuff. And it feels like uh, it feels like a regular downtown, like
Mhm.
it's supposed to. It doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
ghost town anymore. So good job, Detroit. High five
Yeah.
yourself.
Mm.
Yeah. All
Good job.
right. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up a little early today, but that's okay. We got so excited about talking about stuff. So
Mhm.
well done. You have spent nearly an hour with us, the brother sisters, learning things about stuff. And today you learned about the Detroit River and
Mhm.
the Detroit Riverwalk. So we want you to get out there, go enjoy this really great piece of Michigan. Michigan has lots of cool things to offer. This is one of them. Go check out Detroit. Go see for yourself. And yeah, remember, you
Mhm.
guys, we want to hear from you. If you've been to the Riverwalk, let us know. Um, if there's other Riverwalks out there that you think are better, prove it.
Mhm.
Prove it. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you, answer our poll questions, and give us your questions, concerns, comments, and
Confessions.
confessions. Confessions of a Riverwalk. I want to see that. That's
Mhm.
absolutely awesome. Remember, you can support us for absolutely free. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a review. Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Put the word out there to your friends and family to watch us. Do that thing. Sharing is caring. Use the power of social media. There we go. That's right. That's good. Join us next week. That's right. Next week, you guys, we are talking about the Perseid meteor shower. It's that time of year. We're getting started here in the next couple of days. The Perseid meteor shower is an annual event. It's going to peak there. We're going to get you ready to
Mhm.
view. We're going to tell you all about it. We're going to give you the astronomy of it. We're going to tell you the best ways to watch, where to watch it, how to watch it. And yeah, so it'll be awesome. We are looking forward to seeing you there. So yeah, I'm gonna turn that music on.
Okay.
That's right, there it is. So yeah, so next week we're talking about the Perseid meteor shower, and there you go. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you next week. I'm Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister.
And brothers.
That's right, and we want you to get out there and do something smart, do something dumb, or do something fun. We are out of here.
Bye.